Well, some potentially very important royal news now. King Charles is set to make his first appearance since beginning his cancer treatment. However, he will sit apart from the rest of the royal family at the Easter service as a precaution to protect his health. Now, the King is hoping to walk to and from St George's Chapel in Windsor, apparently, but will probably not be attending a post-service reception. There is a bit more to this as well. Should we be concerned, well, more concerned, really, for our King? Joining me to discuss this now is the editor-at-large of the Mail on Sunday, Charlotte Griffiths. Charlotte, thank you very, very much. So, this is concerning. It does appear like they're trying to minimise the amount that we can actually see King Charles at times.
Well, it is kind of concerning, but the whole reason this is being staged is because they want to, calm us all down. Because we haven't seen Charles for a really long time, and Kate's obviously made her announcement about being ill. So actually, I think they've really wanted this event to happen so that we feel reassured. But as you say, slightly less reassuring that he's going to be sitting apart from the rest of the congregation to protect his health, so we can only assume that he's somehow immunosuppressed and they don't want him to catch any bugs from the congregation. But also what they've done, which is quite clever, is he'll be walking down to the service, but then from that point onwards, he won't be seen because St George's Chapel is within the grounds of the castle. So they've chosen an event where he won't be on camera for hours and hours on end. So while it is a little bit concerning, they're trying, the royal aides are sort of hoping actually for the opposite effect, that seeing him at last will assure us that he's OK.
Yeah, and it doesn't appear like he'll be taking the Easter lunch afterwards, apparently, because he's on his gentle steps in his first return to public life, as it were. And we didn't actually see him, did we, when he did his Easter message? So that raised a few eyebrows. That
raised a few eyebrows because he recorded an audio recording a few weeks actually before, and then they said, well, that's because the Worcestershire Cathedral didn't have the visual capabilities to have live video streaming. But then people wondered, well, why can't he do a live audio recording? But they explained it all away, and I think they're very keen to do that, the aides, and they're very keen to unveil this weekend as a slow and gentle step is the narrative that's being pushed out towards him returning to public duty. But the fact is, we're not going to suddenly see him every 5 minutes at Royal events. However, he has done 3 engagements this week, but they were behind closed doors. We saw stills, as we become quite used to now with Charles, is seeing stills of him doing meet and greets. Actually, this will be his 4th engagement in a week, which for somebody who's battling cancer,
absolutely,
pretty hardcore, actually.
Yeah, definitely. And, there is also the very obvious issue of if somebody is ill and if somebody is battling cancer, and we don't know entirely, I think, do we, about exactly what treatments you might be going through for that, then I suppose they do deserve privacy. Maybe we should just be grateful to get a little glimpse of him as he's walking in.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's slightly less private than Kate. So Kate's obviously is not going to be present at all at this service, right. And she's away for the whole of Easter. We're not going to see her anymore, which is part of the reason he's being rolled out a little bit. But he's been, right from the off, he's been quite open about what's wrong with him. Admittedly, not his exact type of cancer or his treatment. I think he will push the boundaries, and I think he knows, just like the Queen always taught him, you have to be seen to be believed, and that's why we had the Kate hysteria, because we just didn't see her for so long. And Charles isn't going to fall into that trap. He's going to try and be seen, and yes, we have to sort of respect his privacy, but he knows that he needs to give a little bit as well and be seen.
So if anything, really, this is potentially quite a brave king story, really, that despite everything that is going on, he is, it appears anyway, going to be seen in public for a brief window of time. It's his 4th engagement of the week. He is at least attending the service as well. I mean, that is quite bold of him, really.
I think it's really bold, and I think he's doing it genuinely out of a sense of duty. And he said in that Maundy service speech that was pre-recorded, he said, he feels his duty is to serve and not be served. And this is sort of a gesture towards that, I think. He's saying, look, I am the monarch, I am the king. I know, many people want to actually see the monarchy thriving, but they just literally can't do that at the moment because Kate's ill and he's ill. So I think he's sort of forcing himself out there. And of course, he's putting in careful boundaries around this event so that if he does get tired, we, the nation, won't all, have a fit of hysteria that he missed the lunch. It's better for him to just, say, right, I'm going to finish before the lunch and do a short walk, because he knows that there's this hysteria that could come out.
Well, Charlotte, thank you very, very much. It's really great to have your insight into that. Charlotte Griffiths there, who is the editor of the Mail on Sunday, editor at large. Yes, you are indeed. I'll get that right one day.